But finding nothing, they opened the window, and when they saw the beautiful myrtle standing there, each of them plucked a leaf from it. But the youngest took off the entire top, to which the little bell was hung. And the moment it was touched, the bell tinkled, and the fairy, thinking it was the prince, immediately came out. As soon as the wicked women saw this lovely creature, they fastened their talons on her, crying, "You are she who turns to your own mill the stream of our hopes. You it is who have stolen the favour of the prince. But you are come to an end of your tricks, my fine lady. You are nimble enough in running off, but you are caught in your tricks this time, and if you escape, you were never born." So saying, they flew upon her, and instantly tore her in pieces, and each of them took her part. But the youngest would not join in this cruel act, and when she was invited by her sisters to do as they did, she would take nothing but a lock of those golden hairs. So when they had done, they went quickly away by the passage through which they had come. Meanwhile the chamberlain came to make the bed and water the flower-pot, according to his master's orders, and seeing this pretty piece of work, he had like to have died of terror. Then biting his nails with vexation, he set to work, gathered up the remains of the flesh and bones that were left, and scraping the blood from the floor, he piled them all up in a heap in the pot, and having watered it, he made the bed, locked the door, put the key under the door, and taking to his heels, ran away out of the town. When the prince came back from the chase, he pulled the silken string and rung the little bell. But ring as he would, it was all lost time. He might sound the tocsin, and ring till he was tired, for the fairy gave no heed. So he went straight to the chamber, and not having patience to call the chamberlain and ask for the key, he gave the lock a kick, burst open the door, went in, opened the window, and seeing the myrtle stripped of its leaves, he fell to making a most doleful lamentation, crying, shouting, and bawling, "O wretched me! Unhappy me! O miserable me! Who has played me this trick? And who has thus trumped my card? O ruined, banished, and undone prince! O my leafless myrtle, my lost fairy! O my wretched life! My joys vanished into smoke, my pleasures turned to vinegar. What will you do, unhappy man? Leap quickly over this ditch. You have fallen from all happiness, and will you not cut your throat? You are robbed of every treasure. You are expelled from life, and do you not go mad? Where are you? Where are you, my myrtle? And what soul more hard than marble has destroyed this beautiful flower-pot? O cursed chase that has chased me from all happiness! Alas, I am done for! I am overthrown! I am ruined! I have ended my days! It is not possible for me to get through life without my life. I must stretch my legs, since without my love sleep will be lamentation, food poison, pleasure insipid, and life sour." These and many other exclamations that would move the very stones in the streets were uttered by the prince. And after repeating them again and again, and wailing bitterly, full of sorrow and woe, never shutting an eye to sleep, nor opening his mouth to eat, he gave such way to grief that his face, which was before of oriental vermilion, became of gold paint, and the ham of his lips became rusty bacon. The fairy, who had sproused up again from the remains that were put in the pot, seeing the misery and tribulation of her poor lover, and how he was turned in a second to the colour of a sick Spaniard, of a venomous lizard, of the sap of a leaf, of a jaundiced person, of a dried pear, was moved with compassion, and springing out of the pot, like the light of a candle shooting out of a dark lantern, she stood before Cola Marchione, and embracing him in her arms, she said, take heart, my prince! Have done now with this lamenting. Wipe your eyes, quiet your anger, smooth your face. Behold me alive and handsome, in spite of those wicked women who split my head and so ill-treated me." The prince, seeing this when he least expected it, arose again from death to life, and the colour returned to his cheeks, warmth to his blood, breath to his breast. After giving her 1,000 caresses and embraces, he desired to know the whole affair from head to foot, and when he found that the chamberlain was not to blame, he ordered him to be called, and giving a great banquet, he, with the full consent of his father, married the fairy. And he invited all the great people of the kingdom, but, above all others, he would have present those 7 serpents who had committed the slaughter of that sweet suckling calf. And as soon as they had done eating, the prince asked all the guests, one after another, what he deserved who had injured that beautiful maiden, pointing to the fairy, who looked so lovely that she shot hearts like a sprite, and drew souls like a windlass. Then all who sat at table, beginning with the king, said, one that he deserved the gallows, another that he merited the wheel, a third the pincers, a fourth to be thrown from a precipice. In short, one proposed this punishment, and another that. At last it came to the turn of the 7 wicked women to speak, who, although they did not much relish this conversation, yet, as the truth comes out when the wine goes about, answered, that whoever had the heart basely to touch only this quintessence of the charms of love deserved to be buried alive in a dungeon. "As you have pronounced this sentence with your own lips," said the prince, "you have yourselves judged the cause, you have yourselves signed the decree. It remains for me to cause your order to be executed, since it is you who with the heart of a negro, with the cruelty of Medea, made a fritter of this beautiful head, and chopped up these lovely limbs like sausage meat. So quick, make haste, lose not a moment. Throw them this very instant into a large dungeon, where they shall end their days miserably." So this order was instantly carried into execution. The prince married the younger sister of these wicked creatures to the chamberlain, and gave her a good portion. And giving also to the father and mother of the Myrtle wherewithal to live comfortably, he himself spent his days happily with the fairy, while the wicked women ended their lives in bitter anguish, and thus verified the proverb of the wise men of old, "The lame goat will hop if he meets with no stop." End of chapter 2.